Hi there, my name is Jake Jones, and this is Eclectic Talk Radio. Today I have an issue with scientists again. As you well know, if you read my articles, I don't believe that every time somebody sees a light in the sky that it's a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object, but too many people today are associating UFO with absolute positive proof that it's an alien craft. It's not. Same thing with Bigfoot. But let me just go ahead here, and you can see the pictures of the artist's conception of how the meteors looked when they struck the Earth. But the problem I have here is that it says they recently found evidence in Sweden that two meteors smacked into Earth at the same time about 458 million years ago. And then it goes on to say that they landed just a few miles from each other at the same moment. 458 million years ago, and they landed next to each other at the same moment. How do they know that? That was 458 million years ago, if you can even believe that. Then they go on to say that the researchers determined that the impact craters were formed at the same time. In other words, going back to support their first statement that yes, it smacked into Earth at the same time about 458 million years ago. Okay, and you can see that here in the first video, in the first frame. It's highlighted in yellow for you. If I didn't say this before, I'll say it now. This is from Fox News article, from an article that they had on their website, which was titled, Double Whammy, Two Meteors Hit Ancient Earth at the Same Time. And it was from Live Science by Elizabeth Palermo. Okay, and she's just writing what the scientists told her. Now, the thing is that I have a problem with here is another thing on the article. Basically says that it happened because these two asteroids crashed into one another in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter 470 million years ago, he added. Well, that's 12 million years after he says they hit Earth. He says they hit Earth 458 million years ago. But now he's saying that the asteroids impacted one another in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter 470 million years ago. So that means they got to Earth before the asteroids hit one another in the asteroid belt. Something is wrong with this picture. This is why you can't trust science. They make an educated guess, and because they have a degree in whatever it is, geology, some kind of science degree, that people take their word as the gospel truth. And we can't do that any longer, because the same thing happened, with the origin of species. We find out that it's not accurate. It took us all these years. And people are still being taught this in our colleges and universities, that we're descendants of the great apes. That's a bunch of bull, okay? So anyway, this isn't the first time they found evidence of meteors striking the planet at the same moment. I wonder how he knows that. So basically we have an article here that's going back 458 million years, or 470 million years, depending which one you want to use. And he's telling us that long ago he has determined that they struck the Earth at the same exact time. I find this very, very troubling. This is where science is going today. All you have to do is look at NASA and some of the things that they said back in the 60s and 70s. And we find out today, after the year 2000 and so on, they weren't accurate. They weren't accurate statements at all. Okay? At least NASA is willing to admit their mistakes. Okay? This guy here in the article, and his name is Eric Sturkel. He is a professor of geophysics at the University of Gothenburg and one of the scientists who is studying the newfound craters. These craters were found 1,600 feet below the sea floor. And, that just adds another problem, big question mark, to the statements he made in this article. So anyway, that's my little short program for today, and I want to let you in on it. You'll find the link to the original article somewhere here on the page. Okay, I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but the link will be here. You can go look at the article at Live Science. So my name is Jake Jones, and this has been, I hope I didn't confuse you over the 12 million years difference. But, you know, if we were looking at BC and AD issue, that would be one thing. But that's not what we're looking at, because when you have BC, you go from 1,000 years before Christ, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 0, and then you start counting up again when you get to the after death. Okay? 100, 200, 300. Okay, so this is a totally different scenario, and I just wanted you to know that. As I said before, my name is Jake Jones. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.